Brian Moran, founder of Government CIO. Welcome to Government CIO Magazine.
Hello, my name is Brett McLaren. Today we're interviewing the Deputy CIO, Dawn Leaf, at the Department of Labor.
So I would say that the Department of Labor is in an exploratory phase. We do, by definition, our mission is such that we are geared toward mobile computing. If you think about it, like the mine safety organization, for a long time they have really been focused in the field. They conduct a lot of their most important activities when there is an accident in a mine and supporting that. Our investigators are in the field. Over 50% of our workforce is in the field and at regional and local sites. So there's definitely a mission orientation there. And now as the tools and the technology become better, then obviously we can provide better support for our staff. I think that it's the same really as we see personally, in the private sector. What happens is naturally as we get technology, as we get tools, we adapt to use them. We become more efficient, we become more effective, we change our processes. And the same thing happens within the government. We learn to do things better, faster, because we have more capabilities. So I look at that a couple of ways. We do, of course, have a mobile strategy, a written document that defines a strategic view for what we'd like to see in terms of supporting our mission and expanding. But something that I think is often overlooked for not only mobile, but moving to cloud computing, anything where we're outsourcing, is you have to have a very sound and well-performing network and security infrastructure to support that. So in parallel with working on that strategic aspect and thinking about the mission, we also have to shore up the infrastructure for DOL. Well, it's interesting you should ask that, because right now we are conducting a 90-day feasibility assessment for Bring Your Own Device policy. And we're looking not only at the technical aspects, but at the human factors, the workforce factors, very simple questions like if you have an employee who has used his or her device supporting the Department of Labor, what happens if they take a job at Commerce? How do you implement containers so that you can remove the Department of Labor data and information and still leave the person with their device intact and not be too invasive? So again, I'd say we're in an exploratory phase. Well, I think the obvious one that has been out there a long time is, of course, physical control of the device, ensuring that the data is sound, that it's encrypted. And then something that I think an agency or a department like ours, where you really do have a lot of your staff in the field, is just the simple things. Making sure that the device gets connected so that we can monitor and upgrade the security, and thinking about a mobile device management policy and tools. We have several of our agencies who are piloting them. I think all of this is driven from the mission, and the people who are doing the job, doing the work, they know best how to use the devices. But I can give you a couple of examples. If we look at our investigators, we know that there are devices that are more powerful for them in terms of being able to capture video and images, as well as just record data in the field. So we're piloting and prototyping those. If we look at parts of our organization like the solicitors, even that, and that's of course industry-wide, is moving to a digital courtroom strategies. So I think we're learning about how that mission can be effective at the same time that we're trying to, again, make sure that we have the infrastructure in place to support it. Well, this is actually one of those long time paradigms. This isn't new. I mean, IT has been changing for decades, and I think the important thing to do, and what we're doing, is you can't touch everything at once. You can't adopt every new technology at once. You can't learn everything at once. You have to choose those that are most aligned with your mission and focus your energies there. Just like with an enterprise architecture portfolio, you focus on those that will best help you. There are certain housekeeping things. Like we all know that we can improve our efficiencies with shared services. So shared services common, whether it's HR, payroll, every agency doesn't need to break new ground there. But you focus on your mission. It sounds like a broken record, but again, it's all about the mission. It's, what actually happens for the person in the field who's trying to do their job. And that is really, that's end user driven. I mean, we can help with the technology in place, we can help identify what's available, but they tell us, they tell us what they want and when they want it, and then our job is just to try to figure out how to get it there sooner. So we know that in addition to mobile, there's that whole paradigm about outsourcing, and we're doing a lot of things in parallel, as are, I think, all agencies and all organizations. So there's getting the delivery structure in place, the network and security infrastructure. There is just improving our applications generally in outsourcing, and then in terms of mobility and mobile computing, it's focusing on those aspects that really that they need first. I mean, it's kind of that simple. So I think there are two. One, we had and have a major overall Department of Labor objective to improve the use of our IT resources by consolidating our infrastructure so that our IT resources with our agencies can focus on the applications and the mission. So we completed a major milestone actually just this last May, Memorial Day. We opened our consolidated data center, made our first big move there, and that was a significant technology accomplishment because it's basically proof of concept. We proved that we, the Department of Labor, can plan and execute that overall strategy to consolidate. I think the other point I would make is an organization one. We have worked very hard and I think successfully to strengthen the collaboration, the partnership between the agencies, between the OCIO. We've implemented and strengthened the Enterprise Implementation Committee, which is a cross-department planning committee. We've implemented a technology innovation forum that's led by our Chief Technology Officer, and I probably should have mentioned that earlier because it really helps to set the direction and set those priorities for what we want to do first.